Hi, Mikada. Hello, everyone. I'm Mika, your company man, VTubers, head in the clouds, stories, flying planes. I'm not planning to fly any planes today, but welcome in. Yeah, there's a few things that I'm just gonna tack onto this as celebrations, because this totally isn't just this totally didn't originate with me owing everyone a karaoke from like 2 years ago. So it's also a 3D model debut that I owe people, and then a 3-year anniversary celebration, and then 1,000 follower celebration, and then I guess the affiliate anniversary is also like last week or so. So all of these mixed together, and don't expect much. But welcome in, everyone. Spaceman, thank you for the resubscription. Welcome in, Ariston. Welcome in, B. Welcome in, Hex. Welcome in, Wrestle Rich. Welcome in, Knight. Knight trying to throw in the loot emotes. Sadly, my chat doesn't show those anymore, and also since VTube Studio isn't open, you don't see those in VTube Studio either. And OBS isn't showing me them either. So how's everyone doing? How's your day been? Anyone do anything fun? How was the nuts off? How was the planes? How are the planes? Did the planes fly well? Did Cap do their job? Was Cap left lacking? We won. Spaceman died. Okay. How many times did you die? Knight blew everyone up. I saw a bit of the Strigel blowing up cars. Me and the banana ball. What banana ball? It's just like literally a ball of banana, or something different. Where model? I'm stalling for time. So you know, that's how it goes. Never heard of Savannah's Bananas? Nope, I've never heard of Savannah's Bananas. I will give you a tiny teaser. There you go. Cap was excluded from the group photos. Why'd you exclude Cap from the group photos, Spaceman? That's rude. An alternative to MLB, Major League Baseball. Oh, baseball, but less serious. Okay. Welcome in, Aluka. Do you smell like fish? Landed wrong. Oh, I see. Well then, Spaceman, why didn't you just land with everyone else like a normal plane? But your carrier? No carrier for you. You're grounded. Well, I mean, you're allowed to fly, but you have to land at the ground only. That's the requirement. Okay, are you guys sick of me stalling for time now? Or should we try to stall for more time? You can see the feet move just a little bit. See, like getting up on tippy toes. No, okay, that's all you get for now. I just need to stall for like another hour before we show you guys, right? That's how you do it. Now, before we show it off, let's see, there's a couple things I gotta do. So there is, this is a Vroid model. So it's not like a super fancy high-tech 3D model for VR chat and VR shenanigans. It will work in VR. I've tested that. I tested that a long time ago, and I retested it today. but it is made by Ash Inkrot. There is their Blue Sky, and there is their YouTube. I think Ash did a wonderful job, especially with how inflexible Vroid models can be. You have to make things out of certain weird things to get workarounds and loopholes to make things work. So like the ears are funny because they're hair. Here you go. You guys get some ankle. You know, there's actually you could see, because it's 3D. You can see 3D ankle. How salacious. Don't bite the ankles. That's rude. All right, and then not really kneecap, because there's one VTuber I know who goes crazy over kneecaps. Sadly, the knees are covered, so there's no kneecaps for her to obsess over. That's very unfortunate. Sorry, Toru. One day I'll get one day I'll get a model with the best knees just to get Toru to notice me. It is a funny thing, because like you always hear people who are like, oh yeah, you know, thighs and like feet, armpits, stomach, and then it's knees. Not the back of the knees, the front of the knees. Food safety violation. This is my bar. I'll do whatever I want. Feet off the table. Okay, fine. I'll oh, that's the wrong one. It's this one. Okay. You get hands. You like that? How about those hands? Telling the health inspector, I wiped my feet off. They're clean shoes. Calling an ATF. Why the heck am I getting a hit? Of course. The one time I try to do something when I'm on call, I'm gonna ignore it and hope for the best. And hopefully, if anything is actually urgent, I can go into work later. All right. Pockets. You got pockets? How you like them pockets? Tummy is great and all, but what about abs? Abs are A+. They start with A. That's what the A is for. All right. You get just the bottom of the scarf. Background copy looks delicious. That's the goal. It's supposed to look delicious. It's a combination bar coffee shop background. Oh, sorry. The VTube Studio things and hits don't work because I don't have it set up with VC Face. Oopsies. Sorry. I don't know if you can make tits work with VC's Face. We'll launch it. We'll see if that works. That'll let me stall for even more time. Drag this window over here. We'll wait for the system to launch. Coffee is filled with Cosmoline. I do not fill my coffee with Cosmoline. That is lies and slander. Connections. VC Face. Does that work now? I mean, it says it's connected. Doesn't look like it's connected. Doesn't seem like it's connected. Well, actually, wait. Hits isn't responding, so that means Hits has a problem. Should totally work. Yeah, things do throw, but why is it not triggering? Of course, it's gotta have issues. Yeah, it's just not triggering. Why is that? It shouldn't need VTube Studio at all to work with this, just a connection to Twitch. Well, we'll kill that. Okay. Enough stalling done. All right. We'll get to the face. Here you go. The ears flop quite well. All of the hair moves. Pretty good. Pretty good, isn't it? And it is, because it is 3D, we can go wee, wee. Oh. Alright, so this is gonna be fun for certain things, because there's VR games which with a certain application you can overlay the model into the game, kind of. It doesn't work perfect, but it works good enough. It's kind of fun. Do an aileron roll. Can I? We. There you go. Best I can do as an aileron roll. Needs to be a redeem. I mean, there's ways to automate that. It can't be a redeem right now, though. You want to spin me like Spinny Ships and Eve? That's a little rude, don't you think? You're gonna make me dizzy. If I get dizzy, I'm gonna puke, and then you have to clean up the mess. Do you really want to deal with that, spaceman? Who gave the dog ailerons? I blame Airshow. I borrowed a couple of his ailerons. He doesn't need them since he's going to Tokyo. Do a barrel roll. No, I just did an aileron roll. I don't think I can do a barrel roll in that. I don't have the fidelity of control to do that. Hydrate. Okay. All right. How do we stall to avoid the singing part? That's the next question. Anyone got any good ideas? The tits work? Nope. I can't get tits working for some reason. It's just not responding to Twitch triggers. Delete system 32. Yeah, that would be a good way to stall. Connections, yeah, it's connected to Twitch. I don't know why it's not working. Do I need to like have VTube Studio running? But it's connected to VC Face. General settings, is there something I gotta do? Anything? It's got to be something between tits and Twitch, because I can manually do redeems. I can manually do that, but if I do missile, it just doesn't work. I don't get it. Why is everything got to be scuffed? It's not like this is... Not like it's specific to... Yeah, it's not like it's specific to VTube Studio. It's so weird that it's not working. Tits missile, it's still tits missile. Event manager, I mean, that's fine. That all looks okay. Deauthenticate. Can we re-authenticate Twitch and see if that fixes it? Live debugging during a model debut. Required to be scuff. Yeah, it's the EN curse. That's how it goes. Hey, there we go. Throwing in the wrong spot, but I don't care to fix it for this. It's not detecting. It's the scene's set up for VTube Studio, and we're not using VTube Studio, so it's going to be in a different spot. Welcome in, Tricky Rickster. How are you? Have you played any trains today? I am looking forward to being able to do VR Derail Valley and have VTuber model moving around, probably very jank since I don't have full body tracking, which is going to be the other fun part of all of this. I am launching a thing that I do not have the proper systems to utilize. Isn't that great? We just played RimWorld, Fallout 76, and War Thunder, yeah. About VR reentry. We've done VR reentry before. I'm looking forward to doing more reentry in VR with the man from space. Especially if we get multi-crew things that we can do that don't take like 8 hours. Because that's part of the problem is that like, oh, let's do an Apollo mission. It's gonna take us days. Days. I heard space. Yes, you heard space. Indeed. Man of space. What did I say? I said we gotta do multi-crew. We gotta do multi-crew space stuff in re-entry. Or maybe some space engineers. That would be fun. Working on Skylab. Yeah, because didn't you say the Skylab for re-entry is it's up there, but there's no like computer programming to do it, so you have to take it in manually? That is that's fun. But Kerbal Space Program taught me that you can just manually fly a spacecraft into orbit, so I'm sure it's fine, right? You just gotta eyeball it. You're just gonna look at a thing in orbit and figure out how to rendezvous with it without using any advanced computers, just the Mark 1 eyeball and a pair of joysticks, right? That's fine. Yeah, Master Chief was able to manage it with a big bomb strapped to him, so I think Baseman can do it as well. Have your good eyeballs on and just gonna... Exactly. What's the worst that could happen? You probably don't have enough fuel to hit escape velocity, so, you know, rescue isn't gonna be that far out, right? Skylab's hard because you can't get the pad to recognize the orbital data, so you have to manually program P30 sans uplink, but P52 doesn't recognize the updated P30 values, so you can't initialize P40. Can I get that in English, Mr. Man of Space? Or how about translated into dog? How many tennis balls do you need to make the orbit work? That's the real question. Computer no worky? Ah, I see. It's an English question. Computers aren't good with English. Okay. Is anybody watching any anime this season? There's been a couple series that I've been surprised to see are actually out And I didn't realize that they were out. So like the Yandere Dark Elf has, I think it's 12-minute episodes. That one was a little bit of a fun comic to read, the bits of it that I did. Then there is the it's an isekai slop, but it knows that it's an isekai slop. It's where's the name of it? Where's the name of it? Where's the name of it? It's too long for me to remember. Wow, Crunchyroll doesn't have it. It's currently airing. I was just on the page for it. But I'm the evil lord of an intergalactic empire. I've been reading the books for that. The guy who wrote it is the guy who wrote Mobsekai. The Life in a Tome game is hard for a mob. He wrote this as basically the trashier version of that one, where main character is just isekai, super OP. His goal is to be an evil intergalactic lord, except he's given a planet that is basically in ruin. And so before he can squeeze his people for all of the tax money, he has to have them have some money for him to steal from them, of course. And he just keeps falling upwards. Like, he tries to do the most evil lordy things, and it's just good for the economy and stuff. And people are like, wow, he's actually a good guy. How could he? That's a little fun to read. I wish that they wouldn't do as much of main character hopping into mech and battling and just, I have uber overpowered mech, because like he's got enough overpowered stuff already. But just kind of how those things go. Main character just has to have super OP weapon. But I also need to watch I saw one picture of Food for the Soul, so now I have to watch that. I have no idea what it's about. The Killing Slimes for 300 Years anime, I gotta watch that. Season 2 is out. I gotta watch that. It was pretty good. At least season 1 was pretty fun. Mono, which is like Euro Camp, but with cameras. I gotta watch that one. And then there is this absolutely highest of class anime that is currently airing. Please put them on, Takamine-san. A girl who time travels when she takes off her panties, because what could be more classy than that? That's gonna be such a trashy show. Oh god, it's gonna be great. How could it not be great? Yeah, the premise of it is just so. You read the manga that oh boy. It'll be interesting to see how that turns out. And then Apothecary Diaries, I think, is still continuing, or Crunchyroll is catching up with the dub. I've been watching that with friends, so I'm catching up on that one. And then we're gonna have to watch Endor as well. Hey, Midnight Fox, welcome in. Yes, we have a 3D Vroid model that'll let me do this because I don't have full tracking. So I just tracked where the head is. I think it gets a little bit better in VR, but we'll see. After I stop stalling and sing songs, and then we can do H3 VR. All right, let's do a quick poll. Stalling is the word. God, I pulled up the poll and then immediately forgot what I was going to type into it because scatterbrain. So, is it time to stop stalling? Cast your vote. You have 45 seconds. It'll let me vote too. I could vote for no. I will vote for no. It'll let you vote in your own polls. I didn't know that. Time to stop stalling. Yes, yes, yes. Four votes yes. 5 votes yes. Oh god. I will warn you guys. I thought I postponed this basically indefinitely until I could get rid of my cough, and then rescheduled it after I got rid of the cough, and the cough came back this week. I I think I've got enough meds to get rid of it for now, but I'm still gonna be a little junky. I've still like got a little bit of a runny nose and my throat's a little gunky, so it's not gonna be a game, but I'll do my best. Yes, I have to stop stalling. Okay, I'll only stall a little bit more. Fine. All right. Hopefully, I am still warmed up enough from all of the warm-ups I've done the entire day, but with god, it's with my throat how it has been. It has been like I've warmed up, and then an hour later, it doesn't, and then I have to start warming up again. So hopefully, first song won't be too rough, and I should hopefully get a little better as we go. Let's kill filters. I actually think I've killed, yeah, I killed compensation, I killed the equalizer. Actually, no, wait, I want the equalizer on. We'll leave the god, what the heck is the term? Loud max filter, whatever that is. We'll leave that on in case I just peak the mic so it doesn't destroy things. We'll turn off sound alerts. Turn off this music. And I know we've only done this once before, but we will go with the tradition of the same starting song as always. And one day I'll sing it well. Except Media Monkey is, oh, okay. Oops. Yeah, okay. Media Monkey isn't in this scene. I need to get that. Glad I caught that. Audio capture, Media Monkey, okay. Normally, I don't have Media Monkey on this scene because when stream goes to end, I don't want it to hear sitting in the back with a camcorder like a proud parent. Don't record this! Ew, get out of here. I also need application audio capture, add existing, Chrome audio. God, I haven't used Chrome audio in so long because it's grabbing really random things. I need that thing. Chrome audio, unmute, Media Monkey, unmute. I hope, oh god, I have no idea if the sound balance is even going to be great, but we'll wing it. I didn't do good audio checks. I didn't want to. I lay down my sword. Now the battle is yours. And I know I'm not the first to have come here. Someone told me you could help me with so many layers. I'm a danger, I'm a stranger, full of anger, and I need to know to be with him, to be happy. Oh, creator, Wanna find the reason why we have to cry, buildings falling down and no one's there to save us. Wanna find the answer, how to clear it up. You make these crazy worlds, I'm stuck between the two. Wanna find the reason why my friends all died, magic and machines struck and the virus set in. Find a good solution, how to fix this up. You make these crazy worlds, I'm stuck between the two. In a village past the mountains of your world, someone told her death was coming soon to all of us. In the tavern, Armageddon, the horizon before talking of a hunger. Many years back, I was younger. Wanna find the reason why we have to cry, buildings falling down and no one's there to save us. Wanna find the answer, how to clear it up. You make these crazy worlds, I'm stuck between the two. Wanna find the reason why my friends all died, magic and machines struck and the virus set in. But a good solution, how to fix this up. You make these crazy worlds, I'm stuck between the two. Oh, 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 oh. Wanna find the reason why we have to cry, buildings falling down and no one's there to save us. Find the answer, how to clear it up. You make these crazy worlds, I'm stuck between the two. Wanna find the reason why my friends all died, magic and machines struck and the virus set in. Find a good solution, how to fix this up. You make these crazy worlds, I'm stuck between the two. Alright, so that first one is Layers by Sawano slash Amy. If you guys are anime fans, you might know that that is from Recreators. That is Studio Troika original anime. I think Recreators is when they finally hit a good anime original, like a really good anime original. That series is often referred to as a reverse isekai. Main idea of it is that characters from popular media are coming to life due to reasons, and so people have to figure out how to deal with it and like contain them, because some of them are good, some of them are really bad, and so how do you fight them? And some of them have just stupid absurd powers, like whatever powers they had in the series, that's what they have. You gotta fight them, and it's a big problem. So I highly recommend that. Full soundtrack is by Sawano Hiroyuki, the everlasting god of music. Only 2, 3, 4, 5 songs out of, I don't know, like 10 here are Sawano ones. So about half of our set list today is Sawano songs. Sorry, not sorry. You will have to deal with it. I do have some normie songs for those of you who do not like anime weeb music. And this next one would be one of those. I'm 15 for a moment, caught in between 10 and 20, and I'm just dreaming, counting the ways to where you are. I'm 22 for a moment, and she feels better than ever, and we're on fire, making our way back from Mars. 15, there's still time for you, time to buy and time to lose. 15, there's never a wish better than this, when you only got 100 years to live. I'm 33 for a moment. I'm still the man, but you see I'm of age. A kid on the way, babe. Family on my mind. I'm 45 for a moment. The sea is high and I'm heading into a crisis, chasing the years of my life. 15, there's still time for you, time to buy and time to lose yourself within a morning star. 15, I'm alright with you. 15, there's never a wish better than this, when you only got 100 years to live. Half time goes by, suddenly you're wise, another blink of an eye. 67 is gone, the sun is getting high, we're moving on. I'm 99 for a moment. I'm dying for just another moment, and I'm just dreaming, counting the ways to where you are. 15, there's still time for you. 22, I feel her too. 33, you're on your way. Every day's a new day. Ooh, 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 ooh. 15, there's still time for you, time to buy and time to choose. Hey, 15, there's never a wish better than this, when you only got 100 years to live. That was, if I can type, 100 years by 5 for fighting. A fun song that always reminds you of the time that's passing by. Hi, Airshow. Welcome in. How's it going? Joe, help me stall for time so I don't have to sing as much. Good, good, good. That's 3 goods. That's 2 more than 1 good. But how many goods is average? Chat, how many goods would you say that you are on average? Is it like 1, or is it like 2? Is 3 like an exceptionally good day? Or would normally 5 be an exceptionally good day? Please silent these things as much as possible. I mean, you could at least, like put cheer emotes in chat or something, so that way I'm not just sitting here nervously thinking that everybody has left the chat the second I started singing. Usually just one. So one good is the average. Okay, okay. So then, is like a terrible day, 0 goods or like negative numbers of goods? I have 100 years stuck in my head now. All right, what is next on the docket here? Okay, arguably the worst one, the one that I'm worst at. Give me a second to hydrate and voice check. All right, here goes nothing. Every change comes with reason. Still we will blame the time if we don't face tomorrow. Today becomes hard to follow until the minutes collapse into this photograph. Too many memories left just to be rescued. I need this explanation to remind me I'm falling. Will you come find me sinking the bottom alone? Lost all control, do this alone. I cannot find escape at the bottom alone. Please don't let me go, don't let me go. I'm falling, I'm drowning, way deeper down the rabbit hole. I'm falling, I'm drowning deeper, deeper down the endless rabbit hole. Sudden change comes with meaning inside those brand new eyes. If we can face tomorrow, we will let go of the sorrow. We'll let the minutes surpass inside this photograph, 'cause where the memories kept, safe to be rescued. It's not the explanation that reminds me I'm calling. So when you find me sinking the bottom alone, lost all control, do this alone. Cannot find escape at the bottom alone. Please don't let me go, don't let me go. Will you come find me, sink to the bottom alone, lost all control, do this alone. I cannot find escape at the bottom alone. Please don't let me go, don't let me go. I'm falling, I'm drowning, way deeper down the rabbit hole. I'm falling, I'm drowning deeper, deeper down the endless rabbit hole. I'm falling, I'm drowning, Way deeper down the rabbit hole. I'm falling. I'm drowning deeper, deeper down the endless rabbit hole. Alright, there we have, yep, another Sawano song. Rabbit Hole by Sawano, and I think it is sung by MPI. No, Yash. Yash and Sawano is also a fantastic combination. Like they have what was it? Let me check real quick. I know I've got it in another playlist. Got it in another playlist for sure. Barricades. Barricades is good. I had to cut like there's a lot of songs that I wanted to put in this, but I had to keep it to a reasonable number. And also I didn't want to make it all Sawano songs because then people would judge me for the weeb that I am. So like a lot of things got cut out. Barricades, DOA, Sawano, Amy Blackschlager for that one. Shout is great. Cage though is really tough. I have a lot of trouble singing Cage, and then Tracer, all good ones that I would like to do, but no space for those. Welcome in Toby Silver's Tone. Airshow sent you. Tell Airshow I said hi. Mika in 3D. I have 3Ds. Look, I can do. And there's some fun implications for. Oh, that's not named right. There's some fun implications of me being able to use this in VR. And it's not like a very seamless way of doing it, but it's gonna be fun. We'll see that in H3 VR. I'm excited to play H3 VR and geek out about certain guns and stuff, especially because they've got flintlock weapons and like, oh my god, I like flintlock weapons, and there's not a ton of people who know flintlock weapons, so it's a lot of fun. All right, are you guys ready for the next one? I forgot what the next one is. Now I remember what the next one is. This next one is not a weeb song. It will be the last non-weeb song. There are only 2 non-weeb songs on this, although technically there are 1, 2, I think Rabbit Hole isn't associated with any anime. And then there's another one that isn't associated with any anime, but it's a Japanese song, so I consider it a weeb song, especially because it wasn't in English originally. All right, another quick hydrate and vocal check, and then we'll do the next song. Okay, should be good to go. This next one is by one of my favorite bands. I listened to them over and over and over again in high school and sang the crap out of a lot of the songs, even the ones where I didn't have the range for it. But this one hopefully should be in range, although my range varies wildly with the day, so we'll see. I scraped my knees when I was praying and found a demon in my safest haven. Seems like getting harder to believe in anything than just to get lost in all my selfish thoughts. I wanna know what it'd be like to find perfection in my pride, to see nothing in the light. I'll turn it off in all my spite, in all my spite. I'll turn it off. And the worst part is, before it gets any better, we're headed for a cliff. And in the free fall, I will realize I'm better off when I hit the bottom. The tragedy, it seems unending. I'm watching everyone I looked up to breaking, bending. They're taking shortcuts and false solutions just to come out the hero. Well, I can see behind the curtain. The wheels are cranking, turning, so we're on the way we're working towards a goal that's non-existent. It's non-existent, but we just keep believing. And the worst part is, before it gets any better, we're headed for a cliff. And in the free fall, I will realize I'm better off when I hit the bottom. I want to know what it'd be like to find perfection in my pride, to see nothing in the light. Turn it off in all my spite, in all my spite. I'll turn it off, just turn it off again, again and again. And the worst part is, before it gets any better, we're headed for a cliff. And in the free fall, I will realize I'm better off when I hit the bottom. And the worst part is, before it gets any better, we're headed for a cliff. And in the free fall, I will realize I'm better off when I hit the bottom. There you go. That was "Turn It Off" by Paramore. Paramore, I listened to so much in high school. Like, kind of, I think like what I listened to in high school was like Paramore and Hey Monday and Fireflight, and like that was it. And then I discovered anime and anime music, and that anime music was free, quote unquote free. And then I started listening to anime music, and I haven't like kept up with music at all, Western music at all, because I'm too much of a weeb for that. How far are we through? 1, 2, 3. So we are halfway through. We got an ad break looming. I snoozed that through the last song. I'm gonna take a 3-minute break, and we'll be back with more music in just a little bit. Hi, I'm back. Oh, the transition's doing its transition weird thingy again. I hope that didn't show. It does that sometimes. It just goes to like a wait screen for a second. Welcome back, everyone. Did you have enough time to get yourself some water, use the bathroom, get some more water? I'm drinking a lot of water.
Caution. Caution.
Boomerang 503. Thank you for the wait. Thank you for the follow. Why are sound alerts working? Because I have the wrong alert muted. I'm lucky that has not come up until now. Let me get that muted. I need to copy this thing, copy that thing there. Scene just talking, and then alerts. So we're gonna mute the alerts for now. I'll keep an eye out for them and catch up as we go, and we'll unmute them before we do VR stuff. All right, now this next song is true to its name. It always leaves me as its name after when trying and after singing it. It was the second hardest song to sing, I think, on this list, on this set list, until I dropped again Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood song, because I I like that one. I like singing it, and then I realized that the Amanda Lee version is slowed down a little bit, and like it is so hard to sing all of those syllables to the original one. So I would need to get like a slowed down version to sing it. It's real hard. But this one is currently the hardest one. Uh, I like this song. This song gets stuck in my head. It is from the hit anime series that everybody hates or loves to hate, Aldnoah Zero, Studio Troika's second best work that fell just short because they didn't think their plot through terribly great and made a overpowered main protagonist in a strategy anime, because you could have made your character not be a good pilot and done a Code Geass kind of thing. But no, they made him the best pilot. So I guess we'll leave it at that. Show me her madness that you keep in. Show that you're scared like me, thus we are teens. Wash my hands off that for this, sell my soul for this hopeless loop. May I have seen your face somewhere sometime? You freeze my blood, it's me so freak me out. Like a look in the mirror, face my doppelganger. Oh, won't you, won't you? Beware of visions, entourage, inmates. You are what you do. Place your mentions, ain't got to be big head. You are what you fool. Right now, burn your soul all to nothing. Burn it out till you're losing your reason. Get the stone reason. Just describe your existence, not a crime. Your insistence, die another day. So do I burn my soul all to nothing? Burn it out to judge in your advance. I'm looking for the chance. Even though body shaking, give your all deadly bumping, 'cause you make me feel breathless. Show me your sadness that you keep in. Know that you're played around, thus we are green. Kind of harsh misfortune ran, so-called yin and yang among us. You really serious to save her right now? Ready to give your life, willing or not? A real flaw in you, unwanted deja vu. Oh, won't you? Won't you? Beware of visions, entourage, inmates. You are what you do. Replace your mentions, ain't got to be big head. You are what you fool. Right now, burn your soul to nothing. Burn it out till you're losing your reason. Get the stone reason. Just describe your existence, not a crime. Your insistence, die another day. So do I burn my soul to nothing? Burn it out, baby, judging your advance. Looking for the chance. Even the whole body's shaking, give your all deadly bumping, 'cause you make me feel breathless. Right now, burn your soul to nothing. Burn it out till you're losing your reason. Get the stone reason. Just describe your existence, not a crime. Your insistence die another day. So do I burn my soul to nothing? Burn it out, baby, judging your advance. Looking for the chance. Even though body's shaking, give your all deadly bumping, 'cause you make me feel breathless. Ah, yeah, that one is hard. And true to its name, where's that? Yeah. It always leaves me breathless when singing it. It is a little bit of a hard one, but some of the notes were hard, and then I noticed for the second chorus, this one is a little hard to get timed right. So for some context, most of these songs don't have karaoke versions, and it's like way easier if you have a karaoke version to like watch the video and sing along to the lyrics. And a lot of these don't have that. Thankfully, the next one does actually have that. And so that'll be a help. But with this one, you didn't, and then you get the drop where it's like right before the second chorus. There's no music, so you just have to kind of time it. And I missed the time on that one hard. And then I had to play catch up, and that probably didn't sound great. But we'll keep rolling. Oh, we'll keep rolling. Bloody Fate is another fantastic one that maybe in a future karaoke. If you guys enjoyed this, maybe a future one. There's a whole bunch of songs we can do, but they're all Sawano songs because I can't sing anything but weed music. Next one, this next one, I always have trouble getting into the right key for it because there are like two keys I can sing this in, and one of them is the right key. The other one it doesn't work. So I need to do a quick little practicing. All right. I hope I'm good. Welcome in F5E Tiger 2. How are you doing? Yes, we've got a 3D model. We'll be doing more 3D-ish thingies with it. And then maybe it'll be an excuse to get full body tracking. But full body tracking is like really expensive. Like the cheapest kit is like hundreds of dollars. I think is it like slime trackers is the kind of best option, but MocoP is really popular, even though even though it's like $500 and it has less fidelity and tracking, but it's easier to set up. Also, is portable, just neat, and it supports AR stuff. So I think like if you ever see that DIY VTuber, it's a Japanese DIY VTuber. They have videos like them installing an AC onto a house. The whole time they've got the model overlaid onto it, and it's just hilarious. Just use your mouse drag and arbitrarily rotate your model. I can do that. We have that. We you can look at me from this angle, or like this angle. I can look like I'm shunning you, like I haven't figured out how all the controls work for VC Face because I like fired this up one time to check the model, and then I fired this up a second time to check the model, and then I fired it up today to check the model. And I haven't been really like doing a lot. I know I did do a little bit of tuning to get the mouth to kind of work right. So I had to find the settings so that it'll move the mouth with both the camera tracking and with input from audio. And I remember it's got filters on it. So I did the thing that I normally do, which is I put my filtered microphone output through to it, and it didn't like that because it put filters on top of filters. So then I had to tell it the raw microphone input, and then it worked fine. The finagling stuff that we have to do behind the scenes as VTubers, because we don't just have a camera to capture things, and face tracking takes a delay. Although I find VC Face is actually like really quick and responsive. I think we're running at 30 FPS, which is the same as what I normally run for VTube Studio. So it's running pretty good, pretty quick. I might have to do some testing to see if it runs any better with high stress games than VTube Studio, but I'm not terribly hopeful of that. And I need to use the little dog's room real quick. I will be right back. Okay, I told you to be quick. I'm back. All right, our next song. Why do I have the lyrics for this up when I have the karaoke version? Oh well. I mean, having both up probably won't hurt. This next one is a favorite of mine, even though I've never seen the anime it's from, which is Legend of the Galactic Heroes. So I hope you all enjoy. Need a little bit more water first. So I hope you all enjoy. An adorable star we can see from afar, but a truth that belies all who enters will die. Feel the beating of wings as a pendulum swings, and we can't believe it's ever gonna end. You know blood is thicker than water, but you just want everyone to get along. For the candles in the darkness, burning up the sorrow, there's no end to sadness we didn't learn. For the broken-hearted people, Diamonds now surround us, so out of our minds, leave the past behind. We're a binary heart, tear each other apart, growing from the same stem. They were us, we were them, on a course to collide. Is it strength not to hide? Let the politics decide, you're not a friend. You know blood is thicker than water, but you just want everyone to get along. For the candles in the darkness, burning up the sorrow, there's no end to sadness we didn't learn. For the broken-hearted people, diamonds now surround us, so out of our mind, leave the past behind. Binary, a centrifugal force pushing us far away is our eternity. Binary, we can't escape the force crushing us. Gravity is our eternity. For the candles in the dark. Oh, God. Burning up the sorrow, there's no end to sadness we didn't learn. For the broken-hearted people, diamonds now surround us, so out of our mind, leave the past behind. For the candles in the darkness, burning up the sorrow, there's no end to sadness we didn't learn. For the broken-hearted people, diamonds now surround us, so out of our minds, leave the past behind. Binary, a centrifugal force pushing us far away is our eternity. Binary, we can't escape the force crushing us. Gravity is our eternity. I always have trouble getting into the right key for that one, and we missed it a couple times. Oops. All right, that's the end of ones that have karaoke, which means that it's all on me from here on. But we only have 2 songs left. Although honestly, the karaoke throws me off in its own ways. I need to bring up the lyrics for this other one because last one is we got 2 more, one of which I've sung before. You guys might be familiar with. Oh, and that last one I needed to add it to the set list. The last one is Binary Star. Shauno and Uru. The opening theme to Legend of the Galactic Heroes, although I have never actually seen the anime for it. I will one day at some point, maybe. Welcome in, Mad Gator. Welcome in, Aaron. How are you guys doing? And I'm hoping I'm not going to scare everyone off with some scuffed singing. I have an active, going to be a little gross, but I have like active nasal drainage, and so if I stop speaking for a couple minutes, then it's really rough when the song starts. And I'm like out of key, and then it comes back into key, and then it's even worse. And not able to really sing at the same point that I practice most of these songs. And I'm dying of thirst the entire time. But I have drank so much water today. So much water. Like, I have a Camelback 32-ounce water bottle, and it's like 1 liter, 32-ish ounces. And I've drank like 4 of these today already, and I'm on the 5th. And I'm a third of the way through the 5th one, so it's a lot of water. You gotta stay hydrated. All right, this next one, I have always liked it. Although, you guys actually follow along with any of the lyrics of these, you'll probably notice that I tend to take liberties with the lyrics, especially the Samano ones, because sometimes the lyrics are dumb and they don't make sense in English. So I decide that my lyric is better, and I don't care what anyone else thinks, because I'm going to do it how I want. All right, quick hydrate and voice check for this one, and then all right, we should be good. And I'm gonna hope that I don't mess up the timing on this one. Got over it ages ago, where we were from the same river, thinking about how we lost our minds. I don't care what's in the past. They don't care about old trouble. Any wars wherever you go. Somebody please, can we stop all the fights? I'll do it 'cause it's my turn. Take a step back, please face up to reality, yes. You don't hear me, no. You can change that if you want. But don't you know, there are people crying every day. Let's fly away for Earth and Mars today. Don't stop me now, look around the world. How can we stop the war? And over, are we sure enough? You'll come back tomorrow, but I need to know. Look around the world. So what are we fighting for? Can I ask you? Why the sky is blue, there is no difference, you and me. Take a step back, please face up to reality, yes. You don't hear me, no. You can change that if you want. But don't you know, there are people crying every day. Let's fly away for Earth and Mars today. Don't stop me now, look around the world. How can we stop the war? And over, are we sure enough? You'll come back tomorrow, but I need to know. Look around the world. So what are we fighting for? Can I ask you? Why the sky is blue, there is no difference, you and me. 'Cause it's time to wake you up. Over there, my friend, now. Come on, take my hand. Take it now, see far away. See the dawn, it's time to go. Over there, my friend, here we are. Come on, let's share this perfect sky. See the dawn. Hold me now, catch my hope. Feel me now in your arms. All right, yeah. If you were around for the original 2D Mika model debut, you might remember that we sang that song as well. It was in the original first time Mika karaoke set list. I really like that one. It's from Noah Zero. Just a pretty song, a very pretty song. Honestly, like anything by Amy Blackschlager, anything sung by Amy Blackschlager is really good. All done by Sano, and generally the pronunciation is very good because they're all English songs, and the vocalist is a native English speaker. But that doesn't save the song from being word salad and having really weird things. It just the guy who composed the song is not a native English speaker. He speaks Japanese, and he puts words in that sound cool. He puts words in that you have to sing wrong to sing the song, and it's a mess. It's always a mess. Very much a mess. All right, this last one before we do VR shenanigans. Um, this one is a Mika original cover. This is a song that is in Japanese. I got the lyrics translated. Sorry, I put them into DeepL, and yeah, I can't afford a translator. And then I rewrote the lyrics so that they sounded good. So there's only one other person who has ever seen these lyrics that isn't me, and that's Tank because I sent them to him. I'm gonna really hope that I nail this one because if I don't, then it's gonna be embarrassing. So I need another minute to hydrate, prep, and then we'll go. So I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, I think we're good. Transition. What are you? Okay. Okay. Last song of the night. It is clear it's ending soon. A new day is dawning. The night has run away. The chapter comes to an end. Breathing in the cold air, I will take a few more deep breaths to drink the week away. I don't need to say a word. It doesn't matter. Before you break the spell, prepare to say goodbye. Before this magic fades that you've cast over me. No matter what, I must see this through. So soon we will have to say goodbye. Sea and sky meet far away. Wish I could write a letter to you from that place, even if only once. Here and now, this is our home. Together, we spend so much time here, no matter how long. I won't forget this time we spent. Instead of looking down, I would rather look up. If you will wave to me, I know that I will make it through. I think about it again and again. All this time that we have spent. Before you break the spell, prepare to say goodbye. All this time we have spent is coming to an end. When next we meet, just please remember, we'll smile just the same as ever. All right, that was Preparing to Say Goodbye by Honeycomb Bear. It is a song that I didn't really like it at first, but I really came to appreciate it. And just by listening to it, you really get the emotions of someone having to say goodbye to someone, but it's not on like bad terms. It's something that you have to do. And then I looked at the lyrics and that's exactly what it was. So like, well, I'd like to sing it. It's slow enough that it's doable. There are syllables I had to drop here and there. I had to elongate some syllables for words to make it easier to sing because, as I've found, trying to take Japanese, which is not a very information dense language in terms of information per syllable, trying to put that into English, which is a much more information dense language in terms of data per syllable, it's hard. They You're not used to saying syllables as quick. If you have to think about what you're saying, it's a lot harder as well. You don't have time to think. And then it seems like sometimes in Japanese music they just cram like three syllables into the space of one beat. It's like, no, you're like not supposed to do that. But how am I supposed to do three syllables in like one beat? No. So you just drop some syllables and you call it good for the best. But that is that song is actually an inspiration for let me find it. Media source, it should be an existing one. God, what was it? This is. I gave Wish Tales that song as an inspiration, and I said, "Hey, can you make me something that gives a similar vibe?" And Wish Tales delivered with this fantastic song that he titled "See You Later," that I use as the ending theme most of the time. But we'll leave this looping, and then I need to get set up for VR. Okay, that's set to loop. All right. We'll let the model do funky things because it's 3D model debut. So we're allowed to have the model just do random things as I stand up and walk across the room. And oh, I forgot to do an audio check. VR headset. Because we're going to be doing a room scale VR game, our audio is likely going to downgrade to. Wow, there's going to be a lot of stuff that isn't on this, isn't there? Unless Past Me Go is smart. Microphone. Tascam DR series. What? Huh? Where I had. Guess I didn't. I guess I forgot to get that set up. Can my audio mixer work with me? Why is audio such a pain? Audio is always a pain in streaming. Wait, why did that suddenly start playing? Oh, because it swapped audio devices. Okay, so now it can definitely see it. Will that work? Okay, let me check something. So I'm gonna have to mute my stream mic. How about now? There we go. Hear this live because I have to copy over effects because I thought I had done this and I didn't. So now we have a noise removal, which is not really working. We'll have to adjust that. Now we've got the compressor. There's the compressor. Paste. Okay. yeah, so you guys aren't hearing any noise, right? Yeah, it doesn't seem like you guys are hearing any noise. Let me take off my other headphone set and set that down. And then I need to be in studio mode. General gaming is live running. Might have to restart. I tested all of this, and then I didn't test it. Just BGMing me. That's good. That's good to hear. Cameras, start virtual cameras and avatar. I've got the game in the game, and as soon as this utility catches up, it should be good to switch over. There we go. All right, this is gonna look awkward at first, so bear with me. Application audio capture. I hope the application. Well, I'll double check the application audio capture. H3VR is set. It doesn't look like anything's coming through because there's like a constant echo going on. So maybe live output. No. If I grab one controller, can I make noise? Where is my audio then? Oh yeah, also let me turn on a bunch of things. I need to turn that back off. There you go, now you've got audio. Okay, so you can see Mika in this, and I'm gonna have to make sure that things are working, and there's something I forgot to set up as well, because I am live. But I have a right controller isn't on. But I have a camera up here. And I can move that around like this. And I have a chat window up over here, but that will move with me because now it's over there, and now it's there, because it follows my head, which can be a little annoying in some games. I think some of you who saw it when I was playing, I'm completely blanking. Classic mode, maybe, yes. But when I did Half-Life Alyx a little bit, which we will come back to now, and unfortunately Half-Life Alyx doesn't have this capability, so sadly we're gonna be, I might need to do something. So I can't overlay into Half-Life Alyx like I can in this, but we can do some things. We can have like the avatar just in the corner, and then the game, which isn't going to be as fun because then the avatar is like, I don't have the avatar is just going to be like, well, without full body tracking, it's not going to mimic exactly what I do, so it's just going to be like, ooh, up, down, and like, I'm in a weird pose because full body tracking isn't a thing for me. Calibrate T-pose. T-pose to assert dominance. Okay. Now, yeah, the controllers don't sync up with the model perfectly, but it's still fun. I like doing shenanigans with this. And I will try to make sure that the shenanigans work well enough. VR squat redeem. Yeah. Yeah. I guess it looks close enough to what I'm doing. Because again, it's tracking. It's got my head, and then it's got the hands, so I can like do all sorts of weird things, and it's not gonna really know. It can guess at what I'm doing, and it guesses decently well. We'll do this range because I like the desert range, but then the desert range didn't have as many fun things to shoot. And I know this one is kind of a classic. That was the wrong button. Let me point. Let me point. There we go. Gonna get those Mr. Armstrong muscles. Alex Louis Armstrong of the Strong Arm family. I've started rewatching Full Metal Alchemist. Baseman, I should make you watch Full Metal Alchemist with me. Okay, so let me get my room scale set up to this. That's about good. That should be about what I need. I've got a chair here that I gotta watch out for, and then I can move this camera. How's that? Hi. You're not gonna understand anything. You'll understand it. Full Metal, I'll start you from zero. But Full Metal Alchemist is a classic, and it's one of those good animes that's a good anime to show someone as like their first anime, because there's very little that is like Japanese culture for the most part. Like there's bits that come in here and there, but it largely takes place in a Western appearing nation. So it's not really that bad. There's not a lot less to be confused over. All right, what do we want to start out with? We have basically everything. If there's something you want to see me use, just throw it in chat. We'll save the more spicy, heavy weapons for later. Although I can't resist. They gave me a grenade. The dog's got a grenade. I have to kick off my flippers because I can't feel where the cord is with these on. All right, pull pin. I'm not gonna hit anything, am I? Whee! Got it. P90. Gotcha guns. Hi, Gotcha. How's it going? Hi. I love this game. I need to play more of it. Although I see my controller's super jittery. Not like I've got the AC on, because, I mean, that tracker up there is on top of my AC unit. Warning.
Spaceman 634 gifted a tier 1 subscription to Gotcha Guns.
Spaceman, thank you for the gift sub to Gotcha. Is H3 VR multiplayer. A certain shark tells me that there is a multiplayer mod for it, and she said it was pretty good. Okay, let's see. We need not a machine pistol. It would probably personal defense weapons, and it's got a picture of P90. P90 USG. Spawn. Didn't spawn a magazine with. Normally it spawns a magazine with it. Spawn object. That is a big object to fit in such a small space, but oh well. Alright, Peachon. Ah. So, something that's actually, it's not too bad. A lot of people complain about the PS90's ring sight. I actually like it. Safety. I pulled the trigger and my brain told me that I could smell My brain told me I could smell the cheap, crappy 5.7 ammo I'm using. I can even taste it. Jesus. Let's demonstrate the weapon's capability on full auto. Uh-oh, what did I do? Why is my P90 getting a malfunction? It's on automatic. Oh, what did I do? There we go. I desperately need a forced reset trigger for a P90. I find in games like this, in VR, it is much easier to instead of grabbing your gun and like having one hand at the back and then one hand at the front, I find it a lot easier to just pistol grip it, and like you're not actually grabbing a point on the thing, but you just support your hands together and you just shoot it like a pistol. Because without having an object to connect to your two hands, it's a real pain. Alright. Bye-bye, P-Chant. Oh, we missed it. Yeah. There we go. And, one more grenade. What is the view like if I'm over? Okay, fine. Yeah. You? Alright, how about over here? Because you'll be able to see a little bit better what I'm doing. So if I do this. Oh, bad frag. How do I reset the range? Targets. You can spawn in targets. Wrist menu? Ah, yes. Clean up stuff. Uh-oh. That removed my table. Not that I really need the table. Reload scene. There we go. Oh, we got a classic 1911. Loading is sometimes hard because, like, right here is my controllers are bumping. Yeah. I like being able to just throw things. You always smash your controllers together while trying to reload pistols. Yeah, yeah. And what was it that I was playing? There was something that I was playing. Yeah. Can I get the pistol? No, I can't. All right, we'll just spawn another pistol. Do we have a CZ? We got a CZ75. The Shadow, which I think the Shadow is kind of gross.
Aaron_Chenault pulled a common Mika.
Ah, you pulled another common Mika. Do you think we'll get the PR57 in this? Easy spawn, spawn. So there was something I was playing where, yeah, the grip angle on this is about right, which helps a lot because I kind of point shoot a lot more. It might be a little low, but also you
Spaceman 634 pulled a common Mika.
I think there's a button you can press to change the grip angle in this. Nope. Come on, go in there, you stupid magazine. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is way harder than it has to be. There we go. Tosses on pile. Stop tossing the Mikas on a pile. They deserve respect and love. Smoking a little, huh? Huh? Oh, yeah, we smoked the pot. I get it. And then this can go in there. Okay. What's a classic? G17 with a switch. Do we have a Glock 18? Okay, actually, we gotta go, why is there a category for muzzle loading pistols? Tally ho, lads! See, I want a powder horn. And you want, actually, spun. Let me grab it. We have a paper cartridge. And this flintlock will actually go off more reliably than my flintlock will. Hickox 45 line. Ah, okay. Now, traditionally, paper cartridges are used where you take the cartridge, and then you... So let me do this again to make sure you guys can see it. And that was the only one I had because I didn't set the thing right. Yeah. Put it here, lock it in. Okay. So you had a paper cartridge. I have a kit for making paper cartridges that I need to use at some point. But you have the paper cartridge and you bite it off to open it. And what you would do, this is not showing great, but what you do is you would dump a little bit of powder into the pan. And this is a little hard to do with one hand. So we're going to set that down. Because normally you could have it in one hand and you could drop it and then you could just flip these over. But then you want to... how do I cock it? Then you cock it and close the prison, which now you have a firearm that is charged and ready to shoot as soon as you put the ball and powder in, which means that you're gonna go do this. Dump all the powder in, then you stuff the cartridge in, and you pull out this ramrod, and it's a little awkward in this. So all the while you're doing this, Nothing is really stopping your rifle from going off because it's at half cock, which half cock it still can go off, really. I think at this it's full cock. But then you smack it down, and normally what you do is you throw the rod down in until it bounces up, and then you know you're at the bottom and you've got the load all the way at the bottom and you're good to go. And then you stick this back in. And then you can... Now, in this, there's that delay between when you pull the trigger, the lock goes and activates, and when it shoots. That normally isn't that much. It is longer than a standard cartridge firearm, but even on my pretty poor quality replica, it's not as bad as that. Hey, get back up here. No sleeping on the job. How am I supposed to grab this that way? No, I want you... There. Okay. And you really do need, like, 3 hands to load a muzzleloader. Because, normally... at least the way I do, which isn't... it's probably easier with this, because this is a paper cartridge, instead of, patched round ball, what I shoot. I have a kit to make paper cartridges, but I haven't gotten around to it. It'll probably be a stream at some point. Can't show that on YouTube, making bullets. But with mine, you need like 3 hands because you take the rifle, you put the powder in, so you gotta pull out a powder measure. Did I just grab something? But you gotta pull out a powder measure, and then you gotta pull out your powder flask. And while you're holding your rifle, your powder measure, and your flask, you have to measure out the correct amount of powder. So you do that, and usually you just rest the rifle against your shoulder, which is why it's convenient to have such a long rifle, because it just rests against your shoulder. But you dump the powder into the powder measure until it fills up to what you set. Then you have to put your powder flask away, and then you gotta take the measure and you got to dump it in, and you want to be sure, if you've shot the gun already that day or recently, you want to be sure that you try to avoid putting your hands over it while you're putting the powder down, because there might be some embers way back in here that can go off and set off the charge, which is why you don't just dump powder straight into it from your flask, because you can do that. It's dangerous and you really shouldn't do it. But you can measure it out with the flask, and it's really not recommended again. Because if you're pouring in from a flask, and it goes down, and it sets it off, and this flashes up, you now have an explosive in your hand, and that's very, very bad. Versus if you have, like, your little powder measure and you dump it in, that's not as big of a deal. But then, you have to... after that, you put that back in your bag, and you have like you have a leather bag that you have all of this junk in, because there's so much crap you need to operate a flintlock. And then you get your ball starter, because if you're doing patched round ball instead of paper cartridges, it's not going to slide down the barrel very easy, and getting it started is really hard. So you have this little thing that's like a ball of wood, and one end is like 3 or 4 up to 6 inch shaft with a brass end cap, and then on the side of the ball, there's just a little short, like, 1/4 inch brass piece. So you use the starter ball to get the ball just within the barrel. On my rifle, I only use the side of it, just enough to get it just inside the barrel. And then I pull out the cleaning rod, or the bore rod, and you just jam it all the way down. Jam it all the way down. Pull the cleaning rod out. Honestly, it is, I would say it is easier and potentially a little quicker in real life than it is in this, because Like you can just like give the rod a good tug and it flies out and you grab it real quick. And then you're ready to shoot. Is it possible to put enough powder in the pan to cause damage to the rifle? Probably not. I've never put much powder in the pan at all. It seems a little counterintuitive, but generally you want very little powder in the pan. So can finger work. So you've got your pan here, and you want just enough powder to coat the bottom of that pan, and not much more, because it seems, as people have said, and from my own observations, having more powder in the pan makes it so that you can make it so that you have a longer lock time, and can also make it so that your reliability is less. Flintlocks are a freaking pain, but they're so cool. And yeah, garbage. Yeah. Yeah. Like my flintlock, which is a fairly low quality Traditions rifle, and I've really only got experience shooting it stock. I've put a replacement part on it to try to make it work better, but then issues came up, and I'll go into that. But it out of the box, it would only do it would do 2 rounds perfect. Like you'd load it right, and you go to shoot and you pull the trigger, and mine is a rifled flintlock, and it is a Kentucky rifle, so it has a double set trigger, so you can pull one trigger and it just fires, or you can pull one trigger or the other trigger, and it makes the original trigger, the firing trigger, much lighter. So you load it up right, you pull the trigger, and then you pull the second trigger, and the hammer smacks the frizzen, and like it goes bang, like immediately, almost immediately. There's a very slight delay compared to like a regular firearm where you pull the trigger and you don't perceive any lock time. There's a tiny bit of lock time, but it is not as much as is typically portrayed, which means that you can get some really good accuracy. Although you do sometimes get instances where you get a long lock time, which is usually when, there's a hole, hole between the pan and the main charge. If you put too much powder into this frizzen, sometimes it goes into that hole. And you'd think, well, that's good because it's going to burn like a cannon fuse. That's bad because it burns like a cannon fuse. So it slows down the ignition, and it takes longer to burn the powder through there than it takes for the flash of the powder in the pan to go through there. So that gives you an increased lock time if you load it wrong. But also, like, I've been surprised that I never get like hang fires. It's always click. It go click and bang immediately, or a little bit of a lock time where it's like a quarter second of lock time because I loaded it wrong, or nothing happens. The pan will flash up and then it's nothing. Recently, the last time I took my flintlock to the range, I had the fun of not even getting flashes in the pan because my flint went dull. And by that point, I was like, I am tired. I don't want to deal with this thing anymore. I always have like 3 spare flints, but I tried just resharpening the flint on the rifle, and then it was like, yeah, I don't want to deal with this anymore, and just called it good. So that's flintlocks. They're fun. They suck, but they're fun and they're cool. They're in the U.S. They're legally not firearms, which means you can just order one to your door. It is in the US, it is harder to get the black powder for a flintlock than it is to get the flintlock, because the flintlock it's just a hunk of steel and wood. It's inert. They ship it to you and you get it. because it's not a firearm. Some states it might be a firearm, but most federally it's not a firearm. So you just get it. You don't need a background check or anything. Now the black powder is A, really hard to find, and B, a hazmat item. So you gotta pay for hazmat shipping, and you gotta find somewhere that actually sells it, because if you sell black powder, you have to have it stored in an actual magazine for explosives, because black powder is dangerous. Which means that there's local Cabela's sells smokeless powder and Pyrodex, but neither of those will work in a flintlock. You need actual black powder in a flintlock, at least for the pan and part of the main charge, because smokeless powders and reproduction powders like Pyrodex don't ignite with a spark very well. Yeah, black powder is not the same as regular gunpowder. So black powder is the mixture of charcoal, potassium nitrate, and sulfur. I think that's it. I might be wrong on the potassium nitrate, but it's just 3 ingredients. It's really simple. Most gunpowders are something like nitrocellulose or other somewhat more complicated things, and they're way more powerful. They burn at completely different rates and different pressure curves. And so with a flintlock, give me the flintlock back so I can demonstrate a point. With a flintlock, you can generally be pretty safe with most powder loads. Are you going to make me take the cap off? You are going to make me take the cap off. That Star Trek episode is to be believed. But the benefit of black powder is that you can put a fair amount of it into something, and it shouldn't go boom. Oh, come on. Yeah, stupid rifle. Yeah. So a typical rifle round has somewhere around, a 223 will have, I think it's 20? Was it 20 grains I was loading? Yeah, I think it was. For the 223 ammo that I was loading, it was 20 grains in a case, while a 6.5 Creedmoor was, and there goes the rifle. Okay, didn't want to play, but 6.5 Creedmoor is 40 some grains of smokeless powder in a case, which to me that's wow, that's a lot, because it's double a 223 round, which is kind of why it's able to push a much heavier bullet at faster speeds, basically, because is it my 223 rifle shoots a 75 grain bullet with my hand loads about 2,600 feet per second, while a 6.5 Creedmoor rifle shooting a 140 grain bullet does it at 3,000, or no, it wasn't 3,000. It was 2,800 feet per second. So it's way faster, and then also it's got a better sectional density, so it keeps its velocity better. And so then at range, at 500 meters, my drop with the 6.5 Creedmoor is about that much. I think it is 16 inches of drop, maybe. Whereas the drop for my 223 is about more than that. It was 60 inches. So I'm lobbing these projectiles, which means that a plus or minus 1 foot per second error in those rounds is really freaking bad. It's the error I have in my hand loads is an 8-inch plus or minus 4 inches of drop at 500 meters. It's really bad. But also, I need to get my hand loads dialed in better. The story of my life since before I started VTuber, I need to get my hand loads dialed in. Yes, I still do. Alright, what next? Do we have the Keltec? Oh wait, we have Grease Gun. I love the Grease Gun, and I wonder if scaling in this is right, because this thing feels really chunky. Let me get something that I have for scale. P90 for scale. So the Grease Gun is like as chunky as the P90, slightly chunkier, I think. But I adore this tube. This tube is great. I want a Grease Gun at some point. Oh, and this is the one that has the charging handle instead of the you reach in and you pull the bolt open. I would love to build one of these from home, full auto, but that's illegal. So no fun allowed. If I'm here, you guys can see. Right, this doesn't have a safety on it, because your safety is the cover. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, guys. That's why. I love how it just cycles so slow. A Grease Gun. You've shot a Sten. The Sten is a classic piece of crap. Do we have a Sten? We should have a Sten somewhere in here. Sten Mark II. Sten. It's tube. Not as bad as you thought it would be. It's, I think, mostly like a joke. Oh my god. And the grip angle is kind of right on this. Like, I have to point it down a lot. Has a selector switch. Hard to hold awkward guns like this in a VR game. And then we have the classic. Oh right, this is supposed to slide in from the side. Like that. It doesn't wanna like that. Let's rattle them, boys. Thompson. Classic. You guys can't see that garbage can is. Everything keeps landing on top of the garbage can. Oh. Get back here. Is this a... You. too far. Let's see. MAC-10, my love. I adore machine pistols. I would love to have a MAC-10. What game is this? H3VR. Should we try to summon the shark? Why are we trying to summon a shark? Alright, safety. Full. And we missed everything. Machine pistols do be like that. I would love to shoot like a MAC-10 something full auto that wasn't a force reset trigger. I've only shot a force reset trigger before. We had a random guy at our range that I went to at one point. He had an FRT, and we're me and two other goons, we're doing some like basic shoot and move stuff. Like the other two guys are big into two gun, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't really care too much for competition because I'm more of a precision rifle guy. But I was playing along with them because it's like, yeah, it's fun to shoot and move sometimes and like try to do shots and shot timing and all that. And we're taking a break because we're all a little tired and we don't want to just burn through ammo. And we hear from the next bay, and it's like a guy trying to shoot full auto, but it's not working. We go over there and we find out that his AR is not set up quite right to use an FRT. But we swap a different upper onto his AR and give him some more ammo, and it's running great. So I was like, actually, I can demonstrate this because I can just grab it. Do we have it? I hope we have it. Do we not have it? How do search? Wow, I thought we would have it. Not in here. Not in carbines. Not really in assault rifles. I don't think. I don't see it. Wow. You not have an option for bullpup? Huh. Fine, I will use the next best thing that I can to demonstrate this point. Well, I was out there with my MDR, and I was like, hey. Here. Just hand to him. He hands me his rifle. I hand him rifle and full mag of ammo. Like, this is something that people probably haven't shot before. You can shoot this, and let me shoot your gun, because I want to. And it's cool. I would love to have an L85 too. Hey, it worked. We're all gonna die. Why are we all gonna die? It's just an L85. It's not like it's gonna explode. Do we have a CZ Bren? Can I fondle my real rifle in this fictional game? P36C. What the heck is this? A what? A what? The frack is this? What abomination? This is a I hate this. I hate this. This is an M1 Garand with like a Glock handle on it. What the fucking hell? It has Glock sight and it's full auto. This is dumb. I hate this. I was like, hi, Sharklet. How's it going? Ow. I stepped on my cord. Funny pump rifle. How about a pump action shotgun? Do you have a classic Remington 870? Keltec KSG? Yes. I will take this. This is gonna be awkward AF to load. Yeah. How many rounds does it take? That's one tube full. There we go. Go in the hole. Yeah. 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 Okay, it's set wrong. There we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7's about typical for most tube shotguns, right? You mentioned G3 and you summoned the shark. I didn't mention G3. And wow, that shotgun really pointed itself towards me. Yeah. At least it's not the Smith & Wesson one. That would have been worse. Okay, we need to do a G3 now. G3A3. I have not fired a G3, but I've fired a PTR 91. I had considered. Oh. I had considered getting a PTR 91, the G3 clone thing that we have here in the US. And the problem was that these things destroy brass. And I hand load. 308 is really expensive. It is expensive enough that I would hand load it. Like currently I don't really hand load 9mm. I don't really do much 223 hand loading outside of my precision rifle stuff. But for like 6.5 Creedmoor, anything I would shoot of that, 30-06, 308, I would hand load all that because it's like 75 cents a round any time that I check for it. And I'm going to save a lot of money by hand loading that. Because hand loading brings it down to like
Spaceman 634 gifted a tier 1 subscription to Sharklet VT.
Spaceman, you have one more gift sub this year. Remember, we agreed on this. Right, Spaceman? Right, Spaceman? But, yeah, so, like, I could hand load 308 for, I think it was about 45 cents per round. But, I mean, that's what the cost of the components I kind of currently have. And so it's hard to hand load for a 308 G3 because it just destroys brass, and your brass you only get like 2 firings, maybe 3 firings out of, because the chamber has the flutes in it, which is so that the thing can run when it's stupidly dirty because conscripts didn't clean it, and also to help it with extracting, really, because it's a roller delayed blowback that opens probably way too soon and the pressure's too high. So it needs the flutes to equalize the pressure so that the round can come out when it's trying to be extracted. The big G3. Yeah, I gotta hold, like, if I hold it at a comfortable distance from me, like, this would be load ready. It's on the wrong side of the model. So I gotta stick it way out. Also, I think, the model should be about the same height as me. Because VR is just going to set it. But yeah, so the fluted chambers absolutely just destroy rounds, and I like to keep ammo. Although these things are really accurate, and they can be accurized quite well. I don't know about the PTR-91. I know the G3s can. Because, like, you don't have a gas system, because it's roller delayed blowback, right? So this tube is just the charging handle. And if you change up some of the front end here, it can be completely free float barrel, and it's a free float barrel semi-auto. Normally you can't get any of that. Like, you could build one of these realistically to have nothing on this barrel for maximum accuracy, and it's gonna be freaking dead on like a laser. Now let's see how it shoots. How do I change the sight around? There we go. This sight sucks. I'm going back to open. They use G3 AK4 in Norwegian shooting competition. I can believe it, because, like, I'll caveat this. I don't know firsthand how accurate these things are. I've seen videos where people have done accuracy testing of stock G3s, and they'll do sub-minute of angle, which in really most circumstances is about all you really need. Like, yeah, you won't, like, oh, it's nice if something does half minute of angle. Like, if you've got a rifle that does half minute of angle, that is pretty much as good as you're ever going to need in any circumstance, really. In any, like, reasonable competition outside of F class. But 1 minute of angle, unless you're trying to be super sniper guy, is really good if you and your rifle can do 1 minute of angle. Latest shooting comp, you saw the G3 beat purpose-built rifles. I mean, if you're talking about purpose-built semi-auto rifles, like, what it comes down to is you have AR-10, which is not going to have a free-float barrel. So that's accuracy that's just being pissed out. And then anything else is piston, which is pissing out your accuracy. Like, ARs, you can do 1 minute of angle with them, but it's hard. And if you're putting that amount of effort in, a G3 you could accurize for a lot less effort. So if you, for the same amount of money or effort spent, you should be able to make a G3 more accurate. And then you can probably the thing that I'd be worried about, which is probably why you don't see them in American circuits much, but The reason why you probably don't see them much in American circuits is you can't hand load for them very well. Because like one of the most important things about hand loading for precision rifle is you have the round in the chamber, and when you shoot it, the bullet goes out, but also the pressure pushes that cartridge case exactly to the dimensions of your chamber within some reason, because if it's like way too far off, it won't get to where it needs to be. So it'll get to the dimensions of the chamber, and it will shrink back a little bit. It'll shrink back a little bit enough that if you were to then just pick that round up off the ground and try to put it in the chamber, a lot of the time that won't work. So then what you do is a lot of people just bump the shoulder back. They take that round that's a perfect fit for their chamber, they bump the shoulder back a little bit, or they resize as minimally as they need, so that way when the round loads into the chamber, there's less slop between the round and the chamber, which means that the bullet is going to be more consistently in the exact same position, which gets you better accuracy because your bullet is going into the barrel the same way instead of like slightly askew or something. And then there's also technology that helps fix askew bullets in barrels and different things. But so if you've got it, so like the high grade competition guys, they will go out with a whole bunch of brass. They'll get a brand new box of like 500 brass cases. They'll load them all up, primer, cheapest bullet they can find, just enough powder to get the bullet out the barrel and to fire form the case, as it's called, and they'll just shoot through those. And then they take those and they use their more expensive powders, their more expensive primers, their more expensive bullets, and make good ammo. And then they've got a set of good ammo. But if you're shooting something like a G3, where you can only get like the initial firing and then 2 reloads out of it, that's a lot more cost and a lot more effort you're doing. Whereas you can do typically 5 reloads without annealing even on most standard firearms. And you can push that up, I think it's like 8 or 10 if you do anneal the cases, which you probably are annealing if you're doing that high level of things. Firing pin doesn't strike the primer fully sometimes. Depends on the ammo too. Also could be head spacing. I know my, I wonder if it's in here. Bolt action rifles. I would doubt it because there are so many bolt action rifle. Nope. Okay. I expect that. American rimfire. I mean, that's close to what I have. Yeah, that's pretty close to what I have. My 223 rifle is a Ruger American Predator, so it's the 223 version of this, and like that's all right actually in here. It's nice that it's got a tri-lug bolt, which is, yeah, I mean the 22 isn't gonna have that, but mine, I suspect head space is a bit long, although I've put a go gauge in it and it's fine. I couldn't get a no-go gauge in, but I didn't strip the bolt, which is probably why it's not working. But ammo, I've had ammo that I had this problem. I forget what the brand was. I think it was Norma ammo maybe? But I had some ammo that I'd bought a ton of, and then 1 in every 10 rounds wasn't going off in the rifle. And I couldn't figure out what was going on, and eventually I went to a point, I got the rounds, the dud rounds afterwards, and I could restrike them and they wouldn't go off no matter what. But if I put them in a different rifle, they'd go off fine. And like an AR, I was tossing them into an AR-15, which, with a mil-spec bolt carrier group and firing pin and all that, they're really lenient in what headspace range of rounds you have, so that doesn't surprise me that fired them. But then later I saved some, and I brought them home, and I threw them into my SAMI spec gauge, and I found out that they were all short from SAMI spec. They were all a fair amount too short from SAMI spec. Well, then I went, okay, well then, because they are too short via SAMI spec with this case gauge, what I can do is, next time I go out to the range, I can just take every round and I can throw it in the case gauge, and then I can just... anything that doesn't gauge right, I set aside, because this was really throwing me off with shooting groups, because I'd load up 10 rounds and I shoot, you know, bang, 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 click. And now I'm stressed out. It's like, okay, now I have to wait 30 seconds and my tempo gets thrown off. And anytime that would happen, my groups would open up right after that round. Well, then I did that and gauged all the cases before I loaded them, and then I still had the problem. And what I found out is that when the firing pin hit the primer, it was pushing the entire round forward because they had a little bit of a defective shoulder. So they were not really head spacing properly. And then so they'd head space in the gauge just fine until you applied a little bit of force to them in the chamber from the firing pin, and then they'd headspace short. Oh, god damn it. I don't really use that Norma ammo for anything but plinking now, because it had head spacing issues, and then it also had below 50 degrees, the groups went from 2 minute of angle to like 5 minute of angle, and it was just terrible because they were not using Magnum primers probably. So I just wash my hands of it. I'm not gonna run into anything I care about. Oh, it's mini. Is this a goat gun? Where's my ammo for it? Where's the zone to open your... I give up on it. Give me a Springfield 1903. I'm resisting the urge to try to get one of these from the CMP. I really want a World War II bolt action rifle. Do we have an Enfield? We should have an Enfield too. I either want a 1903 Springfield that is not sporterized, or an M1917 Enfield, because I don't want to deal with the head spacing issues of a rimmed cartridge. Oh, that didn't go as far as I'd hoped. Safety. Springfield. Good luck finding 303 ammo. I don't want to... that's why I want the M1917 Enfield. That's the US one. And so the US one takes 30-06. And I think the CMP still has them. So it might not be unreasonable to find one. And I just want one that's in a... that's a shooter grade. Really, I want a freaking 223 World War II style rifle. That's really what I want. Loads from stripper clips to an internal magazine, bolt action, iron sights, wood stock. It's gotta have a proper like full wood stock, top and bottom for handguards. So I would never get one basically. I'd never be able to get one because no one's ever going to make that. Yeah, I missed. It is so much harder to run a bolt in this than in real life. I am pretty quick. Part of what I have to do is I have to move my head back so I don't smack myself in the face with this. But if I've got a bolt-action rifle with a decent action and iron sights and not a scope, I can run it really quick. Do the Mad Minute. I could not do the Mad Minute in H3VR, but what distance are you shooting targets at in the Mad Minute? Well, 223 I could definitely do the Mad Minute. I did, aside from loading, because I had 10 round AR-15 mags. I used to have it's probably not in here, but I used to have a Mossberg MVP patrol rifle in 223, and that thing was kind of fun, but also it was a piece of crap. I could run that pretty darn quick, although it had some stoppages because the bolt, you'd pull the bolt all the way back and it could wiggle back and forth like a 1/4 inch. So if you pulled it back wrong, it would kink and you had to spend a little bit of time getting it back so you could put it back forward. But with that, I was able to do like a 10 round magazine pretty darn quick at a point blank target. You can if you aren't taking your bolt action rifle and going bang, bang. If you do that, it's really slow and it's dumb. Really, you need to go bang, 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 bang. And it's way quicker because you're not putting the rifle down, putting it back up. You should be able to keep your sight basically on the target and run the bolt. If the action is not good, that kind of can go out the window because cycling the bolt will throw you off. But if you've got a well-worn action, as most of these rifles would be, it runs pretty easy. All right, what next? I think we have to do the classic. Away with you. You're gonna make me pick up my RPG? Ah, yes, the RPG that's currently spearing me through the torso. Launchers are also a little awkward to do in this, although the RPG isn't as bad as like the Carl Gustaf is. Because you can just hold it like this and you just put that in, and then it's pretty much good to go. Clear back blast! Clear back blast! Wrong trigger. I think I got him. Yeah. Yeah. Nope. I need to find out if I can get like a replica one of these somewhere, because that would be way too fun. Yeah. HEDP. Where did my shell go? How is there a shell in there already? Ah, that's where my shell went. Hee. Big 3D print one. I would love to have one that's like a 37mm launcher where you you load it. You load the 40 millimeter or the 37 millimeter cartridge in through the back like this, and lock it up. Clear backblast. Oh wait, let me do this right. Clear backblast. I can't see. That was close. Now this one's really awkward to reload because you have to reach around. And normally you see guys reload this and they just like set it down here and lean it against themselves, or they can grab it. No, Liv, I didn't want you. Or you can grab it like up here in real life, and there's just like no zone for it on this, which would be nice if they had a way to grab it here. Otherwise, you're awkward. Alright, how about some bloop tube? It didn't... I didn't grab this right. There we go. Can I do something with the sight? I can do something with the sight. I think that guy's out there at about 200 meters. Close. Open. Open! Open sesame! Hold a little low. Nope, not low enough. Boop! Still too high. What if we try to go for... Let me get this window out of my way. What if we try to go for indirect fire? Hey, that last one was kind of on, even though it was like randomly aimed. Do we have anything really dumb? Do we have mortars? We have a mortar. How do I set this up? I'm not qualified to operate this piece of equipment. I am not qualified to operate this piece of equipment. Let me mortar. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Oh. Huh? Now it's doing what it's supposed to. Oh, this isn't the one where you just drop a bit in and it fires? Oh, yes it is. It just has a firing mode for that. But how do I get it back? How do I undeploy it? There we go. There's stuff in the way. You can 3D print Mikas. Fire for effect! I have actually no idea where any of these are hitting. Come on, let's get those far targets. Aren't mortars fun? Although it seems that there's like 0 dispersion on the mortar. Because it's all landing exactly where I put it. Yeah. Alright, there's the classic. Or is it going to let me grab it? There we go. What did I miss? I missed something. Where's the safety? That's the trigger. Oh, wait. There it is. Yeah. 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 That's a big pile of guns we got down here. Oops. Panzerfaust 3. Isn't this the thing that the JSDF... Why is it so tiny? That's why it's so tiny. That is such a tiny module for such a big missile. Yeah. Just a little high. And into the trash can you go. You got a classic bazooka. Yeah. And these things really were, like, stupidly simple. Yep. Yep. The tube. I think they were powered by a battery to light the rocket. Which is interesting. We got a Stinger. And it's thermal battery. Warning. Note. I can't read any of that. Oh, look, a civilian airliner. Spaceman, how does it work? Oops. It doesn't work. I assume I need something to shoot it at. You worthless hunk of junk. There's no civilian airliners to shoot down at this point. Heat generating target. How do I a classic horseshoe? Rail hat? Head mounted. GPNGs! Whoa. How do I put them up? Oh, they're behind my head. Hee hee. How do I get them off? I guess I just have to have night vision for the rest of today. Ah, yes, this is so trippy. Okay, let me how do wrist menu? Maybe that'll get rid of it. Oh, I like how you guys are seeing me jerk around from your perspective. That's pretty funny. Actually, my PC may be dying. I can hear my PC dying. There we go. Oh no, I don't want that. How do I get rid of this? That's how I get rid of it. I've now got my cord wrapped all around my leg. A dog going around in circles. Grenades. Stalin hand grenade. Potato masher. I'd learned that apparently by World War I and World War II, let me get... I've learned a couple interesting facts about grenades. So this, in World War I, this is what a lot of grenades were like. They were stick grenades. You had an explosive on the end of a handle. The reasoning behind this is apparently in Europe, axe throwing was a pretty popular pastime. At least it was decently common than other things. So a lot of people knew how to throw an axe. Or at least a hatchet. And so this was more typical to what people would be able... Let me just throw these here so I can copy them. So this is what people were used to throwing. I don't think I did that right. But take the cap off, and then there's a thing under here that you pull, and now it's live. Uh-oh. Ow. In the US, baseball was more common. So the pineapple grenade, which was called a pineapple grenade because in reality they were, at least by the start of World War II, they were painted bright yellow. So everybody was like, well, it looks like a pineapple. Pineapple grenade was more common because people played baseball. And so people knew how to throw a baseball. Not that you throw a grenade how you throw a baseball. Because it doesn't go far enough if you try to throw it like a baseball. If I... Where did it go? That... Oh boy. Ow. If I could throw this right for like 2 seconds. Nope. Easier to throw it the right way. Oh. Stop making yourself explode, it's not healthy. I think it's perfectly healthy. I need an H3 VR game mode where all I get... Huh? Huh? That's where that one went. There's no pin in it! Ah! Wait, can I just... I can just... I can just store a grenade there and be like... Have fun. Rip bozo. Got him. I saw a whole video on these, the RG42 grenades. These are neat, and it's really understandable why you'd make them, because like cans are easy to make. Everybody, like lots of industries know how to make cans, so you just make a can, but your lid for your can has a fuse well. That's really simple. The downside is it's not a very omnidirectional grenade, so it spits out one directions. There was someone I saw, they were like Polish or Ukrainian, where they did testing on those to show off the blast pattern. It was like, yeah, the sides are great. The top is not great. The bottom is not great. Unless you get hit by the big chunk of shrapnel that is the top and the bottom. And then I think these are impact grenades, which is really interesting. Yeah. The US has not done impact grenades because impact grenades are kind of dangerous. Because it's a real thing that you could just go, oh! Well, or like, I guess if it's not gonna, it makes sense it wouldn't fuse that close. But it's a real possibility that you could go, okay, it's set to fuse at 25 yards, so it goes off there. Because you whiff a throw, whereas a regular grenade, if I take this and I go, uh-oh, that's too close, I can dive to the ground before it blows up, whereas that is just on impact. And then the RGO, I think, is the offensive grenade, which is smaller detonation. Oh. I don't know, it didn't look like it was any smaller. Okay, using my newfound trick, I can take this one, pull the pin out, set it up here, can take this one. I can pull the pin out, and I can grab this one. I couldn't see. There was too much smoke. Flashbangs always surprise me in how small they are. Oh, chat! Wait, huh? The heck is this? It has 2 pins to go? Ow. Is there a way for me to cook the grenade? There we go. Hi, chat. Ow. You're coming with me. That delay. Smoke American flag. Yay. Oh god, I can't see. Oh god, that's a lot of smoke. Hi. Hey. Let's do that again. See, you can see the red, white, and blue smoke. Very patriotic. Wow, this is a big Molotov. Look at these matches. An eagle. Do I have to strike these on the box? Yes, I do. I give up. Give me the Zippo. Hand over the Zippo, I said. Why just none of the controls? Oh, that was close. Wait, did I just... don't try this at home. I'm what you call an expert. Huh? Big stick of dynamite. Bananade? How does a bananade work? Oh, it's got a fuse? Ow. And then the holy horseshoe grenade. Thing is big. Alright. 1, pull pin. 1, 2, 5. No, 3, sir. 3. I don't know what the heck this thing is. I guess it's an impact grenade. Jingler? That must be Christmas themed. Looks like a Christmas ornament. Isn't it cute? Look at all that Christmas cheer. Anything else goofy on here? A backpack? What? Butt backpack? Okay. I think that is probably enough of this for today. I don't know how to quit the desktop. That's gonna throw us out of the game. Oh god, it's late. Alright, you should be hearing me on my regular mic now. Let me close out of live. I can't hear because it is still set to not my headphones. Okay. Why was I folded? Because I set the headset down at the same height as the controllers, and it does that because I don't have full body tracking. Let's see who is online that we can raid Shadow Legends. That's not what it normally plays, right? Okay, yeah, the other one is gone. Other one's hidden. Let's see who is on, who is on, who's on. So we have a singing siren playing Unpacking, or you have a bear man playing. Actually, bear man. Always tank. Always got to be tank. We're raiding tank Bear Claw. Make sure you give him a nice raid 1. And I will see you all maybe tomorrow. Probably not tomorrow. Tomorrow my plan is to let me get the raid started before I talk. Tomorrow my plan is to go to local range, test out my CZ Bren before I get it SBR'd, make sure that it actually works, and then maybe actually take it to get SBR'd that day and get the paperwork started. And then after that I have hanging out with friends. So next stream will probably be Monday. If I wake up tomorrow and I'm like super lazy, then maybe an early stream tomorrow. But look forward to Monday, maybe Tuesday. Probably not Wednesday, Thursday, because I have my usual stuff. And then maybe a Friday. We're going to try to keep the momentum up and stream more frequently. I have found what is probably going to be our next stream game. There's going to be a couple of options. Like we can do H3, or not H3 VR. We can do some more VR games. So some Derail Valley or Half-Life Alyx. We'll see how I feel about Half-Life Alyx, because I do want to go back to that, but it might be more of a longer session kind of thing instead of a weeknight thing, so maybe weekends. Derail Valley, I can't wait to do in VR. That's going to be so much fun, especially as we derail and roll over. So thank you all for watching this, and I will see you all around. Bye-bye.